Hello, good afternoon. There's a warning that safety is being put at risk, with GPs having less than 10 minutes to see even those patients needing complex consultations. The British Medical Association is calling for appointments to be lengthened to 15 minutes and the number of patients being seen limited to just 25 a day, as Paul Davis now reports.
Under pressure to cope with the ailments of an ageing population, GPs often don't have time to treat patients with complicated needs. 10 minutes a patient is the current guideline. Not long enough, says the British Medical Association.
GPs are working harder than ever before and seeing more patients than ever before. But patients are presenting now with much more complex problems. People are living longer with diabetes, with heart disease, with lung disease, with dementia, and often all of these problems have to be dealt with within a 10-minute consultation. That's simply not safe or acceptable for patients.
According to the BMA, some GPs are seeing as many as 60 patients a day. They suggest appointments should be limited to 25 a day, in line with the recommended level in many other EU countries. That means bringing the average length of consultations up to 15 minutes from the current 10, which they say is simply not enough. The BMA says only a new approach with more GPs, better regional organisation and the government keeping its promises on increased funding will prevent practices being run into the ground. Paul Davis, ITV News.
It took place in the southern city of Aden. The so-called Islamic State say they were behind the attack on the local militia compound. The country has been in the grip of a civil war for more than a year. 5 people have been arrested in Brussels after a police forensics lab was set on fire. It was initially reported that a car had exploded, but prosecutors in Belgium now say terrorism is unlikely. And here, police have arrested a man on suspicion of perverting the course of justice after claims a boy was bundled into a van in Surrey. A witness originally said a young boy was seen being taken into the black VW transporter in the Redhill area last week, but officers now say they can't find any evidence to back it up. Finally, for most of us, a year spent in near isolation in Hawaii might have something of an appeal. But for a team of 6 scientists, it meant living without fresh air, without fresh food and no privacy in a sealed dome. The crew were attempting to simulate the same conditions as those on the planet Mars. And as Jenny Longdon reports, now they've emerged back into the Earth's atmosphere.
For an entire year, this barren landscape has been the only ground they have trodden on. Isolated from the outside world, 8,500 feet above sea level, 6 volunteer scientists have been living in a small dome on a volcano in Hawaii. This is not just a personal endurance test, but an experiment to see how humans would cope on Mars.
The UH research going up here is just super vital when it comes to picking crews, figuring out how people are going to actually work on different kinds of missions. It's sort of the human factors element of space travel, colonization, whatever it is you're actually looking at.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on!
Emerging from the dome to applause from family and friends, the volunteers have now completed their mission of conducting research while managing limited resources and working to avoid personal conflict.
Just showing that it works, you can actually get water from a ground that is seemingly dry. It would work on Mars, and the implication is that you would be able to get water on Mars from this little greenhouse.
I can give you my personal impression, which is that a mission to Mars in the close future is realistic.
It will take around a year for astronauts to travel to and from Mars. It's hoped now they'll have a better understanding of how to make it work. Jenny Longdon, ITV News.
And that's all from us for now. Kylie Pentelow will have the latest at 7:15. Until then, do enjoy your bank holiday. Bye-bye.